We're really excited about our next speaker. Natalie Mandriko is an experienced digital solutions consultant who works with various clients, from tiny startups to Fortune 50 companies. She designs valuable experiences and manages design and development of digital products. Thank you very much, Natalie.
Thank you. At first, I was really freaked out because I saw so many people. Now I'm kind of calmed down. So we have only 10 people, roughly 10, 15. That's perfect. Because this session is going to be more of what I call the experiential session. So I cannot talk for even half an hour. So I'm going to have you experience yourself through this talk. So the talk is emotional design. To ease moms out of guilt and shame. And it's based on Don Norman's book, Emotional Design. So the way he thinks about the emotional design is design you can, when you design anything, you can impact people on 3 levels. The first level is visceral. This is our senses. So you think about the visual design. This is your realm of visceral reaction to your products. Then the second level is behavioral design, so how people interact with your product. So think about usability. So this is the second level. And third level is reflexive design. So this is more really abstract level of self-perception. So when the people experience your product, you might impact their self-image. You might impact how they think about the culture and the values. So when I'm talking about emotional design, I'm aiming aiming to design things on 2 levels, behavioral and reflexive. Why is that important? When I started focusing on moms, I realized this is like a huge area of underserved emotions that mothers have, and through design we can alleviate some of the negative issues they have. So for me, emotional design, not amplifying positive emotion, but reducing negative emotions that people have. So we can reduce suffering through our design. So I'm Natalie Mandriko, and I'm a co-founder of a nonprofit organization that designs innovative solutions to keep moms healthy and happy. So first, I'm just guessing that we might have parents in the room. Do we have any parents? Okay, so maybe that's why you're here. So I'll ask you parents, just close your eyes for 30 seconds, because I'm gonna ask one question, and you need to relive your experiences. So think about your first baby, and just think, what do you remember about the first months of your baby's life? And then if you're ready, you can just share like 3 words that describes your experiences. Okay. Postpartum depression. Anything else? Hell. Sheer misery. Okay. Anxiety. Okay. Anything else? Okay. So this is the highest, like, ferocity of your love to your baby. So it's really high and low. It's like over the places. I'm a mother myself. I have 2 girls, and potentially they are mothers. Well, I brought up in Russia, so we have different culture of mothering the mother versus culture here in the United States. So this project is really important for me because I know if they're gonna become the mothers, they will be in this culture that we have in the United States. So my 3 words are being hard on myself, not expecting this is gonna be so hard, doubtful, am I good enough? with those experiences, as a researcher, then I started thinking, well, I'm just average human. If I have these emotions, most probably other moms have it. So I started doing secondary research online, and this is what stood out. This is the common themes among new moms in the United States from different backgrounds. Guilt over missing my routine, so specifically with her first child. Frustration because you have no sleep and you have baby who's crying all the time. And shame. Like a guilt is like I'm doing something wrong, while shame, I'm wrong. Something wrong with me. I'm shameful of myself. So I have those difficult feelings. So with this understanding that is not only my experiences, it's like really common experiences. As a designer, I put the questions on, like how might we design better transition into motherhood? Because we know we love our babies, but still it's really hard on us. Like how can we be better during this transition into motherhood? So this session would be we follow design thinking process. So basically we'll explore the problem space. You share your own personal stories as mothers and parents. And then you map your experiences. So later, you pick one factor that you want to influence and decide how would you influence this factor. So first we're gonna do team formation. Because we got so many parents, I think we can just maybe have 3 groups. Like each group should have 1 parent at least. And I have my team members at Motherhood Design, so they can help you to form the group. So it's going to be maybe circle or whatever. You will have your wall. We have a sticky pad, and you can be with your team, sharing your name as well as why you're here. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so I think we're good. Almost, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so I think it's good things you talking with each other. What I'm gonna do, I'll just present a little bit of structure so you continue your conversation, because the whole idea that you will share your own experiences. Because as a mothers, we have limited space and time to share some difficulties that we have as normal humans. So first part is sharing and mapping. So you'll share your own journey with each other. And then you sum up with kind of journey map exercise. So we'll have a sticky giant post-it. And you can use this visual aid of journey map. If we have multiple parents, just have your pad to visualize your journey from the first trimester of being pregnant or being a partner of pregnant mom through the birth and 12 months after. So I'll show the example. So like this, so your highs and lows through timeline, like 2 years of your new parenthood experiences. So when you have your lows or highs, just share a bit of your stories. Why you having this highs? Why you having this low? So people can use Sticky to jot down some insights that they hear you saying. So we still have a few minutes, so if you want to maybe add additional stories, ask additional questions to finish your mapping. So I'll give you maybe a few minutes to finish your own map, and then I suggest to go over and look at others' map. Okay, this is the time now just to walk around the room and look at others' maps and the notes so you can know others' experiences in the room. Just walk through the hall, see others' maps. Okay, thank you for your work. That was really good. Even though I have only 30 minutes, I think we've done the excellent job of sharing stories, which is the most important. In our own journey, we've done lots of interviews with moms, maternal advocates, because we know, like maybe you already know this. Do you know what #1 complication of childbirth? Anyone? The #1 complication of childbirth in the United States. Do you know the #1 complication of childbirth in the United States? Postpartum depression. So 1 in 5. And it's underdiagnosed, underdocumented. Really shameful experience, really stigmatized. But it's #1 issue that healthcare system has for moms. So knowing that your experiences, whatever experience you have, is really normal. It's really normal. And in our work in terms of emotional design, this really emotional state you're going through, and we met a wonderful psychotherapist, maternal psychotherapist. She's New York. She's in New York, and she shares her own valuable insights that we need to talk more about our personal experiences to normalize it. So when new parents are preparing for parenthood, they managing their expectations. So the first month, the first year is really hard, and this is normal. So you need to prepare for this. You need to think about, as a project manager, who would help you to get through it. And I'll share her talk, if it's going to work, so you can hear her own words to describe these experiences. Okay, so this is a wonderful exercise we went through. So you follow her advice. So you shared your stories that we don't normally do in our society. And so this is our main factors that influence the mental health. So this is the synthesis of research. And you can see some of them as high expectations, guilt, and shame. And some of them is actually influenced by not able to talk about your feelings when you have them. So in our design team, we decided we want to influence 2 levels. Reflexive, how you feel when you how you think about yourself when you feel these negative emotions, as well as behavioral. So what do you do to get rid of, reduce the impact of negative emotions? So we pick our own factors, and with those factors, we're going to skip this exercise. We realize it's more of a support that she needs before and after birth. That includes physical support as well as emotional support. So we phrase this challenge saying how we can provide more easily access to support to her before and after giving birth. And with this challenge, we went to Sibley Innovation Hub, Johns Hopkins Hospital, asking, can you host us? Can we have 2 workshops with diverse groups of people, maternal advocates, as well as moms and medical professionals? And after that, we picked a few ideas out of 20. And with those ideas, we went into rapid prototyping with my design team at that time. And then we submitted this idea to Open Idea Platform, that platform that deals with open innovation for social impact. We got 200 global submissions, and that time we have 5 people and my team. And later we won. So you can see Alexandra Sachs presented her own idea of sharing moms sharing their own experiences on stage in New York. Close to her, this another New Yorker with her project that then she donated to us is more of a streamlining the planning of your pregnancy and beyond. And you can see some of my team members here too. So we had our feedback from 2 innovations hubs, Sutter Health and UCB, And at that point, we realized we're ready to implement the solution. And that led us into Lean Startup. So last September, we attended Techstars weekend to test our not only design skills, but pitching skills. Can we pitch the idea? Can we think about business model behind to provide support that moms need? And we won. So at that time, the tricky part came when we tested the idea and it failed. And the reason it failed, because the emotional design we were designing for is actually, it's time-bound. The pain points you have as a postpartum mom is different from pregnancy that you have. So lack of support is the pain point that moms have after they give birth, but before the giving birth, they have different pain points. So you need to think, when you're designing these experiences, you need to think about the timeline, like what the specific pain point you solve with your design for those people at the time you're solving this problem. So now we're changing the concept. We're picking another idea from the ideation, and now we're hoping that we'll have engagement from pregnant moms. So then they can know the brand, they know the product, and they can return back to use the support they need after she delivers the baby. So I'm just walk through really fast because I know we only have maybe 10 minutes, and I'm open for questions or ideas or insights from your journey mapping exercise. Let's do exercise then. How many minutes? 15 minutes? Okay. So let's go back, because I haven't shared the solution that we pick up. What we can do, you can pick your own factor. I'll have handout. So you go through the handout and pick your factor that you want to influence and why, and you will have your conversation with your team. Okay, so this is the map that I you saw. The factors. So analyze this. Maybe you can kind of overlay with your own experiences with your journey map and discuss with your team. What do you think the number one factor you want to influence and why? Thank you, people. So we have 5 minutes. If you can share maybe a few sentences, what you learned from your own experiences, having this conversation. So maybe a few insights from each team. So what you experienced during this session, maybe something new that you learned that you want to share with others. Who's first?
I'm not going to share. I'm just going to get ready.
Okay.
We decided to talk about isolation and lack of support, both social and emotional and practical, and everything in the green little thing. What we realized is that obviously all these things here are true, and most of it comes because there's a lack of education on the other side. Like normally when a mom is pregnant, she supposedly has a partner most of the time. And this partner, most of the time, is pretty ignorant, not in an offensive way, but just has no knowledge of what is happening, because we don't raise our sons with a maternal instinct. So my husband, for example, he had no idea what I was going through. He would be, and as we were saying, like, okay, you're a mom, like, shouldn't this come normal? Shouldn't this be normal? Shouldn't you know how to do this? And it was just so difficult to talk about emotions, because I didn't know myself what kind of emotions I had, let alone explaining them to someone that has no idea what I'm talking about. So that's why women tend to sink into their loneliness and in their anxiety. And there's a lot of judgment. Everybody has an opinion on how you're raising your kid. Everybody can tell you how you should do it better. And as a mother, you're always struggling with, but am I right? Are they right? Should I do both things? Who knows best? Because everybody seems to know better than you, but then nobody actually does things. Like at the end of the day, you're always alone with your own struggles. And the social image of motherhood, and that goes back to the social image of fatherhood. Like nobody's expecting a father to do, like if a father does things, he's amazing. What a lucky wife, what a lucky woman, because you have a husband that is helping. But how about the lucky husband because he has an amazing mother who probably cooks, cleans, works, takes care of the kid, wakes up at night, breastfeeds, and takes care of everybody, because that's what mothers do. They take care of way more things that they're supposed to sometimes. So what we believe is that there should be, and we were calling it like a degree in parenthood for fathers. Like they have 9 months. I'm not saying that since childhood, because that seems a bit utopic, but I believe it's important to raise our sons and to raise our kids with the idea that if this is going to happen in your life, you're going to be part of it, and you have to be part of it fully. It's not an option to be a father. And if you're a father, yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're a father, it's not an option to be a father. So it's really important to educate our kids.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there are fathers here in case
Yeah.
anyone would
So what's your
like to say
feedback?
something. It's a small sample, but you know.
Yeah.
I'll call you out.
Thank you. So I don't know if we actually landed on one single area. Each one of us kind of had a separate component, and we bounced around a little bit. And you know, I touched on the fact that I too have a different perspective since I was a father, so I can only control what I can control, and I wasn't able to, you know, I saw things from my lens. So my personal choice was the psychological aspect of it, because I feel like that's an area where there could be a lot of growth potential for a partner to help offload some of those feelings and thoughts. But it was interesting to get everybody else's perspective, because everyone kind of had their own personal touch on each one of these. It's not a quadrant, but the different colors in areas. And I think Kevin at the end actually made a really great, interesting insight. And I think it touched on what you were talking about earlier, in that an individual's emotions or issues that they may encounter throughout pregnancy, post, and as the child grows, differs and changes.
Yeah.
So it'd be very interesting to, and he had this idea of really kind of capturing or quantifying those emotions and feelings throughout that life cycle. So when you were saying, you know, things change after pregnancy, and maybe that's why things failed, how do you quantify those things? How, you know, success factors, what worked, what didn't work.
So it's more of a lean startup. How do you measure?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you. So we have only 1 minute. So Asha, maybe you want to share some insights from your group, or just finish up?
Oh, I speak a lot. I'm going to call out someone else.
Well, first of all, to those who are not parents, I feel kind of bad that the session turned into something like birth control. You know? So the thoughts that I have, if there's a product or a service that addresses all these issues that we've been talking about, I think it should help with being prepared. It should just help and prepare people for parenthood, because I feel like during pregnancy or planning the pregnancy, people are doing a lot. You know, they're buying things, you know, doing baby registries and stuff, but they're not prepared emotionally very often, and psychologically for all the challenges. So, you know, the product, the service, the support should address that, and I think it would be very helpful.
Okay, thank you for your work. I hope that might be was therapeutic for you. That was the whole intention. And if you want to follow us, you can follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. LinkedIn is behind the scene design and the Lean Startup, what we're going through now as an official company. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook as the Mothers on Maternal Advocates. And you can get deeper connection with me and my team. Just talk to me. So the materials that you have seen and used, you can use it freely. No license there. Thank you.